Hello lovelies, this is me, the Melanated Oracle, and welcome back to my channels. For today's video, I have a pick a card reading on the full moon in Leo happening on January 28th. So, like my previous video regarding the lunar cycle, the new moon in Capricorn, I will be doing an astrology forecast first, just so you can see the energy I'm seeing, as the energy I'm seeing is going to play a part in the reading. Then I'll be doing some journal prompts, a short meditation, and then the pick a card reading. So if you're not interested in the astrology forecast or the journaling prompts that is inspired by the energy I'm seeing that will help guide you and use the energy of this lunar cycle, then feel free to jump straight to the pick a card reading. So for those of you that are interested in the astrology forecast, this will be all of my, essentially my intuitive astrology. I'm not looking at anything off of the internet. This is everything that I'm really picking up when I was doing my reflection as I'm looking at the energy now. So on January 28th, we had the full moon in Leo. On January 30th / February 1st, Mercury will be going retrograde. On February 1st, Venus will be moving into the sign of Aquarius. And on February 9th, Saturn will be sextile Chiron. So starting with the full moon in Leo, a lot of times when we think of full moon, we speak of things coming to a conclusion, reaching kind of the highest point, releasing energy. But when I was reflecting on this, especially with this full moon, I see that if you're still trying to incorporate some new energy into your life, you can go ahead and do this, because with this full moon in Leo, a lot of us are going to be feeling very empowered and confident in ourselves, especially when you think of Leo energy. It is a lot of pride, it's a lot of confidence, as well as when I think of Leo energy, it's a lot of charisma. It's having confidence in who you are and not letting anyone or anything belittle you or your confidence, you know, how you're worthy. Essentially, a lot of times when I really think of Leo in general, I think of worthiness, internal worthiness, and it starts to show up in your external. Leo is also the ruler of the 5th house, so I'm seeing that if any of you are trying to, I suppose the best way to put it will be changing things about your home / you, such as maybe in any of your relationships with your home, if you want to spice up your home or clear out some things with your relationships with others, specifically romantic relationships. If there are some things that you want to build or some habits you want to release with your children, with your hobbies, things of that nature, this is going to be the time to really take a step back and reflect at how do you want your relationships with your partner or your spouse or your children to be, if there's anything that needs to be kind of let go, like an unhealthy habit that you all do together, or just some tension, or maybe, you know, I just heard for some people in an argument, if there's an argument that's just been lingering in the air, you know, this full moon would be the time to you know, get rid of it, as well as looking at your hobbies and the thing that brings you joy, because those are the things you want to be incorporating more into your life. You don't want to be so focused on life's responsibilities to the point that you miss out on life's pleasure. So with that being said, we also have Mercury retrograde happening 2 days after the full moon. So I do want to say, be a little wary of your communication with people. Just really with anything, you know, with Mercury retrograde, it's always a time to be cautious. I'm not going to call it scary, because it's not scary, but you more so just want to be cautious with what you're doing and what you're saying to others. It can get misconstrued very easily, especially if you're not talking face to face and you're texting or on the phone. You know, and again, the reason why it's so critical, especially if you're in a romantic relationship, to take a look at it and see if there's anything that needs to be removed or something you want to put in, is because Venus is moving into Aquarius. So with this, what I'm really picking up, essentially a lot of us are going to have to work on being an individual while also being in a relationship, because while you are an individual, when you are in a relationship, you become two. And honestly, this can go even further than just romantic relationships. We can talk about friendships, and especially we can talk about children, because your relationship with your children, it's you and the child. So I think a lot of this Venus in Aquarius is going to be helping us find the balance between focusing on yourself and focusing on your loved ones, such as partners, such as children, such as friendships and things of that nature, as well as finding the balance between things you enjoy as a person individually and things that your family may love, or things that your relationship loves, and things of that nature, or things your community love. Finding the balance between focusing on yourself and focusing on others around you is going to be key. You don't want to lean in too far. You don't want to lean too far into yourself, and you don't want to lean too far into others. It's really finding that harmony, especially, and I think it'll be a good time to do a lot of inner reflection on figuring out what you need. How much time do you need to yourself, and how much time can you give to others without feeling like the scale is tipping over to one side or not? And also, what does the balance look like to you when it comes to your community and when it comes to yourself and your loved ones? And we also, on February 9th, which is really the big one to me, this is a major one because I feel like this is going to be huge with this full moon in Leo, because it's still in the same lunar cycle. We have Saturn will be sextile Chiron. So normally when I think of Chiron, I think of a lot of healing when it comes to like deep emotional wounds, but that is not what I'm picking up. With this full moon in Leo right here, and thinking of how confident Leo is, and just this sense of worthiness and what is it, suave, like really, really smooth, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm really getting the feeling that when Saturn becomes sextile Chiron, a lot of us are going to have to be disciplined with facing not our deep wounds, not our deep emotional pain. I mean, you can do that anytime, but our insecurities. That is the biggest thing that I was picking up, is a lot of us are going to have to come face to face with the insecurities that we try to bottle down and not really take a look at, because when you're taking a look at your insecurities, you start feeling insecure. It doesn't make you feel so good. But with this full moon in Leo energy really just making us feel proud of who we are, making us just have this amazing sense of worthiness, of confidence, of also gratitude. When you realize how far you've come and who you are, it's just a sense of pride and gratitude a lot of us will be feeling. And then also leaning into life's pleasure. When you're feeling this amazing, and I think a lot of us are going to be feeling amazing with this full moon in Leo, this will be the perfect time to say, you know what, let me take a look at some of my insecurities. Because really our insecurities eat away at us when we're in a bad spot, But if you're in a really good spot, it's really hard for those insecurities to take over your mind. So February 9th, when Saturn becomes sextile to Chiron, which this isn't a planet, it's an asteroid, this will be the perfect time to really just put to really just discipline yourself at working through your insecurities instead of always ignoring them. And a lot of times, the insecurities we have, they aren't really ours. They're more so of what people, or really what society, I believe, has told us. Well, they can come from individuals, but it's really more so of what society has said about certain things that makes you feel insecure. Because a lot of times when you're around people who are who mean a lot and are important to you and close to you, your insecurities aren't really just out there. But when it comes to society and viewing certain things such as magazines and social media, it can start to rear its ugly head. So I'm going to move into the journal prompts, because I feel like the journal prompts really help understand the astrology forecast and how to use this energy for your advantage, and what you should be taking a look at so you can start implementing some different changes in your life. So the first question, which is tied into the the full moon in Leo, is what makes me feel confident? Again, literally the reference for Leo in this deck is called the showstopper. what is it that makes you feel on top of the world? What is it that makes you feel like you are royalty? It can be, this is basically just kind of writing yourself a love letter, if you even want to think of it that way. So name all the qualities about yourself that you love, as well as things that makes you feel confident, either that be certain aspects of your body or the way you look, certain skills that you have. Maybe it's your voice, the way you speak. Maybe it's, it could be a variety of things, but really sit down and, empower yourself and say what makes you feel confident. Really take a look at that. So for the second question, we're going to kind of do a 180 in a sense, but I promise it's for a reason. The second question is there anything that makes me feel insecure? If so, why? And the reason that I included this is because, again, when you're in a really good state of how you feel about yourself, it's really easy to work through those insecurities, because a lot of times, when we have an insecurity, we feel like it's just this huge thing. But then if you can look at all these other amazing qualities about yourself and realize how small that insecurity is and how all of your positive aspects overshadows that insecurity, it really can become diminished and can help you step into your confidence. Number 3 is, have I been catering to life's pleasures as much as I would like to? So this is really taking a look at if you've really been allowing yourself to have pleasure. And when I speak of pleasure, this is like hobbies, culture, again, leaning into your romantic relationships. I could be leaning into children, because it's really nice to be around children, so this is just things that make you feel good when I'm referring to pleasure. So how have you been dedicating enough time towards things that make you feel good? If you haven't been, why not? And how can you incorporate it more into your life? Because in order to really work through things, you have to say why you aren't doing something, or why something isn't true. Like an insecurity, why isn't your insecurity so big? Well, these are the reasons why, because of this, that, and the third. So that is the third one. The fourth one, again, tying into Venus in Aquarius as well as this full moon in Leo. Do I allow myself to have enough humility to drop my pride when needed in regards to seeking help, such as, just if you need maybe some financial help, or, maybe you just need help with, a project or something. And also when it comes to relationships, being able to drop your pride and have some humility when it comes to your relationships, to be able to work through some things instead of just holding on to certain things. The last one, which may seem a little random, is, are there any charities or organizations that I would like to donate my time or money to? So this is tied into Venus in Aquarius, but it's also tied into Jupiter in Aquarius, because that's still happening. Venus and Taurus go hand in hand, and Taurus is connected with the second house, which is a focus on financial goods, material goods, and just money overall. So, and when we look at Aquarius, looking at more so of the community, the humanitarian, the for the world aspect, if you will. And is there anything that you may want to donate to charities, or is there any time that you will be willing to donate, especially with Jupiter in Aquarius? Because I see if we plant these seeds with these astrological events, and really all time, but especially now with that huge conjunction that happened in December, we're setting the tone. These are seeds that you'll be able to reap. And then it also just feels good to donate and, help out charities overall. But I see with the energy that's really picking up with Venus in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius, and we will be in Aquarius season, that would be very beneficial. At least I think February 9th will still be in Aquarius season. I hope I'm right. So with that being said, that was the journal prompts for the energy that I'm seeing, as well as the astrology forecast. So I'm going to go ahead and jump straight to the meditation before we start our reading. So for my lovelies that chose pile number 1, this is the reading for you. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have courage, which is represented by motherwort, progress, and I hope I'm saying this right, campaign, repair, comfrey, full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Waxing crescent moon, have faith in your dreams. New moon, a new start is coming. 4 of air, Jupiter and Libra. Ace of water in reverse, all of the water signs. 9 of fire in reverse, which is Mercury in Sagittarius. 10 of water, Mars in Pisces. Page of earth. Think it through. Better perspective. Enclosure needed. So as I was shuffling, I was immediately getting the feeling that a lot of you will be finding peace in your home with the full moon cycle. I feel like you all are going to be getting a lot of release, but you're also going to be instilling something as well. So with the astrology forecast, one of the things that I spoke of is how Leo, which is the ruler of the 5th house, how a lot of us may be taking a look at our homes, at our relationships with our significant others and our children, and really taking a look and seeing if there's anything that need to be changed, anything that needs to be released, and anything that need to be instilled. And so seeing repair, full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle, enclosure needed, as well as this 9 of fire in reverse, as long as it's 4 of air, I see a lot of people really I see a lot of people taking the time to working on repairing the relationships within their home. For my pile number 1s, I feel like a lot of people are going to be slowing down with communication, especially with realizing that Mercury retrograde is a few days after our full moon. So with the full moon, a lot of emotions may already be running pretty high, especially if things have been pretty tense in the home, if there may have been some fights and arguments, and just, a kind of like, I'm getting the feeling a lot of people are walking on eggshells around each other. I'm seeing that a lot of you are taking the time to really listen to one another, especially with that Venus in Aquarius, and more so looking at both sides of you as yourself as an individual and the person, and how needs can be met for you yourself, and also for the other person in the relationship, whether that be a romantic partner, a friend, a family member, or your child. And really being able to gain some perspective off of that, and really gaining some understanding with one another. Really that understanding and being able to, when emotions aren't running high, after you've had some rest, after you've had some time to rejuvenate, you'll be able to gain this better perspective and understanding, especially with this page of air, because we have progress. So clearly, and think it through clearly, after these talks have been had, and reflection has been done, that chapter of walking on eggshells and things being just super tense and not really knowing how to navigate and not knowing what to say, that is going to be closing. We have faith in your dreams. I feel like for pile number 1s, part of your dreams is this 10 of water energy. It's this energy of community with people around you. Is with happiness. One of the things, every night before I go to sleep, I pray every night and every morning. And one of the things I pray for every night is for myself, it's for my mother, my fiance, my loved ones, my friends, and those that I love and care about. I always pray and ask for abundance of health, wealth, and happiness. And I feel like that is what the energy is going to be leaning towards, especially since there's a full moon right here as well, and a rainbow. I see better days coming ahead. I feel like the emphasis for you with this full moon is going to be an emphasis of really focusing on family, focusing on the home, focusing on understanding each other, focusing on understanding each other's emotions, focusing on, instead of getting into argument after argument after argument, instead being able to work through the differences and repairs being made, taking some time to breathe instead of, saying spiteful words towards one another. And with this, a new start will be coming, really, regards to your home. And what I'm also picking up is, for some of you, you may want to also decorate your home in a sense that it's more peaceful and it's easier to ease into that peaceful energy. So the scents that I was thinking and the herbs that I was thinking, especially if you're like me and you liked creating blessed oils or having blessed oils for yourself and for your home, is the herbs that I was picking up while shuffling is comfrey, which is right here with the repair, comfrey, lavender, and even yarrow could be a good one, because yarrow helps a lot with healing. I just see that a lot of relationships are going to be restored, and I even see that even if they aren't in your household, for some reason I'm hearing if you've had a fight with like an uncle or a distant uncle, that relationship can still be repaired as well. They don't have to be living in your house in order for these relationships to be repaired, especially considering with this full moon in Leo, with a lot of us being in a good place, and with the Saturn sextile Chiron, with being able to heal a lot of past wrongs and hurt as well. And with knowing about the Mercury retrograde happening on January 30th, I think a lot of you are going to be focusing a lot on your communication and how to communicate with people effectively. So I see a lot of you taking some time to heal the relationships in your household, with family members, with people you may not have spoken to in some weeks or some months, and just taking the time to bury the hatchet so you can have this new start of unity with the people that you love and care about. So just a couple more cards, either for clarifier or see if there's anything I'm missing regarding the situation, or if there's anything else you need to know for guidance. We have 8 of Vials. Yeah, again, we're really learning to actually, I want to have this upright because it's going to make more sense. Oh, so I feel like a lot of you are one of the things that's going to help with your relationships and with yourself as well is learning how to stop bottling up emotions for the sake of not dealing with it. I see a lot of tension and walking on eggshells was coming because people didn't know how to express their emotions in general. They didn't know how to acknowledge their emotions, and they also didn't know how to communicate their emotions to people and express them so they can understand. But again, with this Mercury retrograde coming up, and really realizing how important communication is, because I see this group is more so they're going to be cautious. I'm like, oh my god, Mercury retrograde, oh. But I see that a lot of you are going to be focusing on instead learning how to communicate in a way that is effective, so people can understand you. You're no longer leaving your emotions bottled up within you, leaving that behind, leaving that bottling of your energy and your emotions behind, because that was causing a lot of tension. And I feel like you're also going to be encourage other people who you're going to be having conversations with, and also trying to better that relationship and understanding, and really just emphasizing how there's no way you two will understand each other if you can't even express your emotions with one another, and how bottling up your emotions is something that's going to have to be left behind. That tough cycle and that closure is going to have to be shut of that unhealthy habit of bottling emotions. And if it's in your family especially, I see that may have been what I like to call an ancestral pattern, a generational pattern of just people bottling up their emotions. And I see by you being the one saying no more, you're going to be helping your family members break out of that, and you're also going to be preventing that from being passed down to your children as well. So if any of your children have been bottling up your emotions, do realize that that's partly because of you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that a lot of you are going to be able to break out of that, and you're going to be helping your children as well. We have the moon. Yeah, a lot of you are going to be really leaning into which can also be a result of Saturn sextile Chiron, of leaning more into your vulnerability, leaning more into your feminine energy and towards your emotional states, and allowing yourself to be emotional without thinking that that's a weakness. Five of Tomes, leaving this energy behind, because what I am seeing is that this could, like everything, literally everything has a cause and an effect. So by you bottling things up, this could have also played a part in your finances. But I see that, oh my God, I'm getting chills. Yeah, by being able to express yourself and release your emotions, and just having that release when it comes to your emotional states, not in a way where you're snapping at people and you're just you're letting everything out in an unhealthy way, but learning how to navigate it in a healthy way. That's going to be releasing some financial blockages for you. When you do this, I see some of you may also be seeing some financial abundance coming your way, because that is going to be you doing the work. Oh, that's way too many cards. Can I get just one, please? Just one more. Yep, 10 of bells. Again, leaving that behind. 5 of cups. Yes, we're literally leaving this energy behind. This 10 of bells of feeling restricted, feeling weighed down, especially if it's just a lot of things from the past that is weighing you down. But since you were never able to actively express your emotions, you know, it was hard for people to understand you and understand why you were acting or feeling a certain way. But I see that in turn, you're also going to be helping with your healing as well, because you're finally going to be able to express your emotions, and it's going to be so much understanding between you, your family, your partners, and your children, all of that. So instead of feeling like the world is against you and feeling like everybody's at each other's throats, we're going to be leaning more into compassion, and people are going to be able to show compassion towards you that you've been really wanting. So can you just give me one more card, just one, for my pile number ones, because this reading is beautiful. I feel like a lot of you have been really needing this. You've been needing a sign or a breakthrough that things will get better, and this is your sign that things will get better for you. Yes, it will. So can I get one more card? Ooh, one more card. Ooh, there it is. Okay, let's see. 10 of candles. Yeah, we're leaving this cycle behind. We have 10 of candles, 10 of bells, 5 of candles, 5 of tomes, and 8 of vials in reverse. You're just, you know what? You're just choosing to leave this chapter behind. You're realizing that it's not healthy. You realize it's not helping anyone, not yourself, not your family, not your significant other, not your children. And you're saying this chapter is closed. We are moving forward differently. A new start, a new chapter of our life is starting. A new chapter of this family is starting. I feel like a lot of you are making your ancestors proud right now. Even if you don't have a deep ancestral connection, you are making them proud, because you are breaking a cycle that's been passed down through the generations over and over and over again. And you are finally realizing that cycle, and you're saying no more, and you're doing the work to clear it out. So for my pile number ones, this was the reading for you. If you enjoyed this reading and you feel called to, please make sure you like and subscribe, and have a blessed day. Bye. So for my lovelies that chose pile number 2, this is the reading for you. So let's go ahead and get started. We have open, yarrow, freedom, mugwort, cleanse, colt's foot, I believe. Waxing moon, the energy is gaining momentum. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon, page of earth, judgment in reverse. The hanged man, which is Neptune. Weighing options. Romance is yours. Deep feelings. And last but not least, we have meditate. So I feel like a lot of you, if you did not watch the journal prompt section, the journal prompt that you would probably resonate with the most is there anything that makes me feel insecure? If so, why? Because what I'm seeing is, and what I was picking up while I was shuffling, is a lot of you, especially seeing a new romantic cycle begins, along with romance is yours and deep feelings, as well as open, freedom, and cleanse. And the energy is gaining momentum as well as oiling options. So really all of it. I'm seeing that a lot of you are, in a sense, it's two things going on. First off, a lot of you are releasing your insecurities. And why I say that is because we have open, freedom, as well as the judgment card in reverse. I feel like a lot of you may have been judging yourself because of your insecurities, and I feel like a lot of that was weighing down your confidence. But with this full moon in Leo, you're going to start feeling confident in your own skin, and especially with Chiron sextile, or excuse me, Saturn sextile Chiron. Really what I was speaking of with the combined energy of this full moon in Leo is that a lot of insecurities are going to need to be addressed for you to feel fully confident at all times. And I feel like that's what's going on with this group. And I feel like as a result, because yeah, you know, if we take a look, and I hope you can see with this lotus flower, a lotus flower blooms from the deepest, murkiest mud. And I'm not saying that you're deep murky mud. You're the lotus flower if you didn't get that reference. But I feel like your deep murky mud was more so your mindset. And I keep picking up with this pile. It more so has to deal with your weight. I feel like a lot of you have insecurities regarding your weight in your body, and you're going to be finally being able to release that. I feel like for you all, because this is, I feel with you all, the new moon in Capricorn is playing a part. So the new moon in Capricorn was really about setting building blocks and foundations and doing this long-term planning about what you want your happiness to be and yada yada yada. So what I feel like with you all is some of you, I really feel like all of you, realize that part of your happiness, not because society says so, but because when you actually sit down, that's what you want, is you want a partner in your life. You want love in your life. And I feel like what was weighing you down was not, you know, your weight or your body issues, whatever you think they are. It was more so your opinion and your confidence regarding them. Because, you know, people are beautiful. I mean, I don't really think that somebody has to have a certain body type or look a certain way to be beautiful. We have beautiful people in all shapes and sizes and all colors. I mean, come on, you know. But I feel like what was happening is a lot of you, social media was really playing a huge emphasis in your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And I see you kind of going on this social media cleanse in order to really feel confident about yourselves, to feel happy, to feel these deep feelings of confidence and happiness. Not that shallow, you know, online you're like, oh yeah, I'm so happy, and then when you hop off you're like, I'm not actually happy. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm feeling like once you go through this cleanse and you work through your insecurities and realizing that your insecurities are really only there because of society, not because you actually feel bad about yourself. Because I feel like a lot of you deep down, you actually really love who you are, you love your body, and you love the way you look. But because of what society says, sometimes you feel like that you shouldn't love the way you look, you shouldn't love your body. And you know, this can be the opposite way too. You don't have to be on you know, plus size to feel this way. You could also feel like you're too skinny and you don't have enough curves. I mean, our body really does make it to the point where you're always unhappy. Our society, excuse me, because if you're unhappy, then you spend money. And that's really all society cares about. Are you spending money? No? Okay, let me make you feel so insecure about yourself to the point where you want to go spend some money on either some diet or fashion to kind of fill that void, so maybe you can feel like, okay, well maybe now I'm good enough in society's eyes. And I see that you're just saying, you know what, that's not working, that's not right. I'm gonna take a step away from social media. You're going to do that inner work, you know, acknowledging your insecurities, acknowledging what makes you feel confident, things of that nature. And then you're going to start feeling this sense of freedom. And with the sense of freedom, I'm also getting the sense that a lot of you are going to, because you're feeling worthy, because you're feeling confident, you're going to be ready for love. Because this is the thing, if you don't, and I say this multiple times in multiple readings and outside my life, so if you hear it a lot, that's why. If you are having issues with yourself, it will show up in your romantic relationships. So I see you, by taking the time to do all of this, you're going to be realizing that you're ready for a romantic relationship, because you're not going to be feeling awful about yourself and that you're not worthy. You're going to be feeling the exact opposite. Like, okay, I am ready for a partner. You know, I love myself. So, you know, I love myself. So obviously somebody else can love me. And that romance is going to be coming in. Now, it may not be all super fast and hot and ready, if you get what I'm trying to say. I see it more so being like this slow building romance that's going to happen over time, and then in turn leave a long, and it's going to be long term, it's going to be long lasting. And I see that that's going to be bringing you some happiness as well. But if you were never able to love yourself and get over those insecurities and that feeling of you're unworthy because society says this, you're not going to be able to get to this point. If you're going to keep judging yourself and being critical of yourself and looking at yourself not with your own eyes but with society's eyes, you're not going to be getting this freedom and openness. So you have to do that work first of loving yourself and looking at yourself. How do I want to say this? Looking at yourself essentially the way that people who love you look at you, then you know that's the place you need to be. Now, if you foresee for some, you know, meditation will help as well, because when you meditate, you really get to a point of where you start reflecting from your own mind and not what society says, and that's going to be beneficial. And a lot of you are going to weigh your options. You're like, I can either stay stuck in this mindset of thinking that society is right about everything, or I can look at the truth and realize that in my eyes and in the eyes that really matter, you know, myself, the people that love and care about me, my guides, my ancestors, God, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I don't need society to tell me I'm beautiful for me to feel beautiful and for me to feel worthy for love for myself, those around me, and you know, that future partner. And even if you are in a relationship, this still applies. Like I said, if you are having personal issues, it is going to show up in your relationship. So there is no difference. For others of you, this can be a restoration of love. That's going to give you a sense of freedom because you might have gotten so critical. It showed up. It showed up, and you already know why, if you know if it did show up. And for others, you're going to be getting that love you've been seeking. So let's just get a couple of clarifiers and confirmations from Spirit for any additional guidance with this full moon in Leo. Ooh, I didn't even get to finish saying everything. Yeah, we have awakening, dreamer of bells. Oh yes, so this full moon in Leo, Venus entering Aquarius, as well as Saturn sextile Chiron. Give me one more, please, Spirit. There we go. The shadow. What did I talk about taking all your insecurities head on? You can really think about it as shadow work if that's what you want to do. But taking your insecurities head on, dreamer of bells, along with this page of earth, you know, really realizing, seeing the opportunities before you when you see that you are worthy. Your life, you're going to start looking at life differently. It's going to be affecting more than just romance, weighing your options. Once you hit a certain level of confidence, you stop settling. And a lot of you are going to be weighing your options of, ooh, well, I can do this, and this. Actually, I don't have to only be stuck with just this. And then just walking in your true path. We have awakening. Realizing that you are always worthy regardless of what society says, as long as you live and breathe and you do no harm. Really, you're always worthy, but as long as you're not hurting nobody, you deserve a good life. Life is supposed to be easy. Life is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be hard. And it doesn't have to be. So unbind yourself from your own insecurities, essentially. Because when you do, that's when you're going to be having this, oh my God, life is beautiful moment. So with that being said, this was the reading for my pile number 2s. If you enjoyed this reading, please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a blessed day. Bye. So for my lovelies that chose pile number 3, this is the reading for you. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have Endurance Ginseng, reflection, lemon balm, dandelion detox. Full moon in Scorpio is time to release negativity. New moon eclipse, expect powerful change. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon, nothing will come of the situation. Void of course moon, nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. The sun upright. Justice, Libra. King of earth, earth/fire. 10 of earth, Mercury in Virgo. We have busy bee. No. And choose you first. So there's a lot going on, and it's so much going on, it's kind of hard to see. But let's get down to business. So one thing I'm seeing is that what I'm really picking up, because even though it says it's time to release negativity, I'm not really picking up on negativity. I'm picking up on it's time to release people who don't respect your boundaries. It's time to release people who takes advantage of all you've accomplished, is what I'm heard. Because we have the full moon in Leo, and Leo, you know, with the type of sign and energy it is, usually that energy, when you incorporate it into your life, it's very, very, I won't say easy, but the ambition and drive you have towards success, it really helps you, it motivates you. And I feel like my pile threes, a lot of y'all, if you haven't had a lot of success yet, I see with this full moon / lunar cycle, because the way I look at cycles, I really look at new moon to full moon, or wait, hold up, what? New moon to full moon, and then full moon to new moon, how the energy gains, and then the energy kind of, it heightens and then it dies down. So what I'm picking up is, if you haven't been super successful yet, that you're going to have some type of either success or money coming your way. But what I see is that there are either certain people or a certain person in your life who in a way tries to take advantage of that. And this is kind of what's tripping me out, because we have nothing will come of the situation, but we also have nothing is yet set in stone. And so what I think is Spirit is trying to communicate that this person or people need to be released, and you may have to do some reflection on that, because one of the journal prompts also speaks of this. On the journal prompts I spoke of, it says, what makes me feel confident / feel good? So if there is someone in your life or some people in your life that don't make you feel good, and you realize that they more so take advantage of your kindness and of your success, those may be some people that you want to release, that you want to detox after some reflection. If they more so dull your light and they don't treat you fairly, like say for instance, they run out, and this is a random example, but they run out of gas. The first person they call is you come pick them up, and then you give them $20 for gas and you go and fill up their tank. But if the roles were reversed, or if they have been reversed, you know for sure that that person would not do the same for you. So some of you are thinking, well, this person just has to be in my life. And they are telling you, this is Spirit, this isn't me. Nothing is yet set in stone, and nothing will come in this situation, so you can let it go. You don't have to think that someone, if they are not doing what they need to do in your life, then that is just it, and they will always be there, and that you cannot remove them. Because if nothing is going to come from this friendship or this relationship or this connection, then it needs to be released. And you might have to be bold and make the first move. Yeah, you may have to, and they may not be happy. They honestly aren't probably going to be happy, because they're getting a lot from you. You're not, that's the thing, it doesn't even have to be money. It doesn't have to do with money. It's just, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of you, maybe all of you at this point, I think it's all of you, You have some people in your life where they just take more than they give. And they take more than they give. It's because they see how much you have. Some of them even may be envious of how much you have, and they may be upset that they don't have all of that, but you do. That's not your fault that they're not really doing what they need to do, but I see also some envy coming from them as well. So use your spirit of discernment if you're struggling pinpointing who it is. But I see that if you are not able to release, if you're not able to release this type of energy, this take and take and take, but not giving enough in return, it's going to affect you in the long run. Because we have 10 of Earth along with King of Earth. Two very good things. Two cards. Oh yes, I love to see these two next to each other. You're talking about blessed and leaving a lineage, leaving a legacy for the lineage, and leaving this generational wealth. Beautiful. But if your resources are being sapped now, and again, this can be more than just money. If they're being sapped now, and they're, you teach people how to treat you, so if they continue to be sapped, and it may, if you stick with this person and you keep these people in your life, they may start taking more and more and more as time go by, as you get more and more resources and you just keep giving and giving and giving. What is going to be left for your legacy? Because in my new moon in Capricorn video, the pick a card reading, I spoke about how Jupiter is in Aquarius. And one of the journal prompts that I did for that, especially regarding that placement right now, that transit that's happening, is what is the legacy I'm currently creating regarding the collective, regarding my lineage? So that's something you need to think of. What can you leave behind if you're given everything you have now? How can you build if you're always giving now? And that's not to scare anyone, but I'm just saying, like this card says, you need to be able to say no. You need to be able to choose yourself first. And sometimes choosing yourself first is also choosing those that are going to be your descendants first as well. And we also have busy bee. I feel like a lot of you already have your success, being completely honest, or you have some good income or some good ideas. It's just like there's a lot of potential and they see that potential in you, but instead of them going to find their own potential, they're just essentially sapping you of yours at this point, being 100% honest, because I feel like they may not be having the exact same motivation as you have. They may not be on the same level as you, and deep down, a lot of y'all know that, but since this person is important to you, and they've always, and yeah, for some of you, I'm hearing that this may be also a long time friend, a childhood friend, so you don't really want to kick them to the curb. So even if you don't cut them off completely, I think what needs to happen is this chapter of you constantly giving and them taking, it needs to be shut down, because in the long run, as we have endurance, life is not a race, it's a marathon. It's a long-term thing that we experience. You want to be prepared for the long term, for this marathon. You don't want everything to be gone before you even have the chance to build it up. And you don't want to just give everything that you've worked so hard for to people who, if I'm being completely honest, are undeserving. Because if they're not giving you a return and they're not doing what you do for them in return, then they don't deserve. Let me not say they don't need you, because I'm pretty sure they do, because they don't have enough on their own, but they essentially don't deserve everything that you give, if we're being completely honest. So let me just shuffle a few more. Can I get some encouraging messages? Because that's really what I'm trying. Give me some encouraging messages for them. Give me some kind messages, confirmations. So I'm going to take this. No, we're going to take all of them. Yep. Because this is everything I need. Right here. Creator of tones. 7 of Candles, the Diviner, 3 of Vials. So here's the thing. A lot of you, your intuition is on point 9 times out of 10, but I'm getting the sense that a lot of you choose to ignore it because you don't want to cause any rifts. Because again, these are childhood friends, these are people you've known for a long time, these are relationships you don't want to break. You want this harmony, you want this 3 of Vials energy where everything is just so pleasant and happy and everyone's happy. And I'm not saying you can't have that, but I'm just saying that everybody in this situation needs to feel like this. Because right now, it just may be this person or these other 2 people, but you're whoever, it's just an example. Although you are happy that they're happy, they are starting to sap you in a sense, and that's what you want to avoid, is people sapping you. And remember how I said some people may be envious of you? They may ask a lot of you, but they're still envious. Look at the 7 of Candles right here. So while they are strutting their stuff, look at the people around them. Especially look at this person. They are obviously angry that they are not up there. Look at this person. They're also wondering, why are you up there? All these people in the background who should be supporting this person. I mean, I feel like this may be the most neutral. But all these people in the background who clearly want to be this person and should be supporting this person, but they are feeling envious because they're not in that position. I feel like a lot of this may be because they are envious of you. So they are trying to, in a sense, and you know what? They may not even, I'll say this, they may not even be 100% conscious of what they're doing. But taking away your resources so you don't get too far ahead of them, so you can't have more and more while they're stuck in the same place, not up there, not working to get up to where you are, but just stuck in the same place. They don't want you to keep going further, and they're not doing anything. Creator of Tomes, they might be wondering, why is it that it's so easy for you to have this wonderful life and these wonderful opportunities and all of these resources, and 9 times out of 10 they don't even realize how much you've had to work to get where you are, but all they're seeing is the finished result. And so you really need to use your spirit of discernment to realize if maybe you just need to take a break from this person. You know, you need to set up some boundaries. That's 100%. But also just knowing that maybe if you just need to take a break for this person, because a lot of the things they're doing, I don't think they're 100% conscious of. I don't think they're 100% aware of what they're doing. But just because they're not aware doesn't mean they should continue. And so if you want to get here, some boundaries are going to have to be made, because you constantly giving and not receiving anything, it's not going to help anyone, especially you or your descendants. So work on creating a balance if you feel this relationship is worth it. But if you try to give these boundaries and to create this balance and it's not working, just realize that you may have to release it if it's not worth it, if it's not working, for your own benefit, and like I said, for your descendants, for your family's benefit as well. But know that no matter what, because this was sitting at the bottom, now it's holding off until all this was said so it can have a greater impact. This is what was happening at the bottom of the stack. It said happy outcome. Regardless of what happens, whatever happens is meant to happen, and that is going to be, and it's going to bring in a happy outcome. So with that said, for my pile number 3, this was the reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you feel called to, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a blessed day. Bye.